Your offer's value is only as good as the result that you deliver for clients. If you're delivering an amazing result, if you're literally creating transformation in somebody's business, their health, their relationships, you can do a lot more than $5,000.
This is The Fighting Entrepreneur, the podcast dedicated to entrepreneurs looking to change the world. Learn how to start, build, and scale a business in today's highly competitive business environment. Here's your host, The Fighting Entrepreneur, Anik Singal.
What's up, you crazy fighting entrepreneurs? Welcome back, and this is your favorite person in the whole wide world, Anik Singal, the host of this show. Listen, I've got an amazing show for you today. We are going to talk about what we are seeing right now. The number one funnel, the number one model, the number one business, the number one everything that we're seeing our students are just killing it from. And I'm not talking to the tune of like, oh, they're making a few $100 a month. No, I'm talking about they're coming in with nothing and then a month later reporting 70 grand in sales. It's from the business model that we're talking about today. So this is all about how to build a 7-figure business using coaching and consulting. Now, immediately when I say that, a lot of people will say, well, not me. I'm not a coach. I'm not a consultant. And I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. All right. I'm here to tell you that you could actually deploy this model really well. Really well. There's a book called The Art of the Start. Changed my life. I read it back 15, 16 years ago, in which he actually teaches you to sell your services first to help you fund the business you really want to build. And that's how I got started. And the model we talk about today is called Often. All right. We're giving you the Often formula. All right. Did I get that right?
The Often formula.
The Often formula. I had to second guess myself for a second there. All right. And what we're going to go over in this formula is piece by piece. We're going to show you every piece of what you need to do. And guess who's back on The Fighting Entrepreneur? He's a known face here. He's been on, I was joking with him. I was like, I think you might have been on more episodes than myself, but it's a joke. Mr. Jeremy Bellotti, what's up, man?
Good to be here. Good to be back.
So Jeremy's making me stand for this episode. So I said, oh, that's the first one. We'll try that. So if you're watching the video, I'm standing. That's cool. And you're going to be back next week also. So by the way, this is going to be a 2-part series. And next week is going to be all about selling, which people are like, oh, I don't want to sell. Selling is so hard. Well, I will tell you this, and I'm saying this with full, absolute, like I am in my full consciousness. I'm telling you, this man, but if you get in front of him, be careful because he will take your money. Like he is just absolutely amazing. He's amazing at selling, even though that's not what this episode's about at all. But pre-selling the next.
That.
Yeah, pre-selling the. Seriously, sometimes I'm scared talking to him because I don't know if my wallet's just going to come out and he's going to sell me my own program. That's how good he is. So we're going to have a good episode today. Jeremy, thanks for being back. We're going to go over the entire funnel of how our students are going from 0 to 100 grand, in a matter of weeks. And it's not like it's a surprise because we use this funnel at Lurn all day long. I mean, we're spending about 7-8 grand a day in ads to this funnel. So it's working across the board and everybody's making a ton of money from it. But Before we can talk and before we can start grilling you, Jeremy, it is time for you to raise your right hand and take the oath for the 5th time.
All right, let me put your wallet here.
All right. Oh, you know what's great? I didn't bring my wallet.
I have it right here.
He brought my wallet. Shit. He's actually stealing now. All right, Jeremy, right hand up.
Yes, let's do this.
All right. I, Jeremy Bellotti.
I, Jeremy Bellotti.
Do solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Good Lord. Do solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. What else was there?
And reveal all my coaching and consulting. That's so boring, but yeah, fine. To reveal all my coaching and consulting secrets.
To reveal all my coaching consulting secrets.
It just makes it sound so unsexy, but it's actually really amazing.
Everything about the Often formula.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. By the way, also, I'm going to kind of give you a little hint here, or a little clue, or a little teaser, I should say. At some point in this episode, we're going to drop a link that if you are interested in having, this is cool. This is probably the best offer I've ever made. If you are interested in having us, me, Jeremy, Lurn, build your coaching and consulting business with you, literally like your pages, your funnels, your ads, your everything, and you're interested in having that and you're interested in exploring what that looks like, you'll actually get a chance to book a one-on-one call with Jeremy. Not with someone else, with Jeremy directly. But that's going to come later. You got to listen to the episode. You have to listen to us banter for a little while before that opportunity comes up. Jeremy, man, we don't need to do the introduction, but I do want to, sometimes people are listening for the first time. Jeremy Bellotti is our lead transformational coach here at Lurn. We work together every single day. He also leads our best event that we've ever created, ever done, and have tremendous results out of, which is called Lurn Masters. And that is from where we have seen this massive like explosion of results in the coaching consulting world. Jeremy's, guys, just so you know, it's not like he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. I mean, the guy was homeless at one point, literally living out of his car. And it is the things he teaches you today that brought him to a place of, being a millionaire. I mean, so this is pretty killer stuff. Jeremy, anything specific about your story that you really want to get out there before we get into round one?
I think the biggest thing, especially after such a trite introduction of me stealing wallets. So
that's how he got out of being homeless.
Exactly, that's how I got out of being homeless. No, let's just completely reestablish, what my story is. And bottom line is, yes, I was in that position where I was college educated. Someone that, had every opportunity in the world, and inevitably what that led me to in terms of the traditional way of going about things was I went to school, got a job, and started living out of my car, right? And it took about a year of me doing that to kind of turn things around. You guys can kind of listen to other episodes or earlier episodes to kind of get a full scope of that story, but inevitably was able to turn it around and really started introducing myself to entrepreneurship, which I had no concept of growing up, and started following and starting getting mentored by people like Anik and people out there that really were doing business the right way for the right reasons, and started actually finding my way, especially with this model. And I think what you just mentioned of go sell your services, go sell your value first and fund the dream, that is so relevant. It definitely was what helped me progress. So.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because it's such a positive ROI model.
Yes.
And so quick to get up. You don't have to have crazy funnels. You don't have to have sales pages and marketing copy and product development and technical delivery mechanisms and all this crazy stuff. So you can generate a high amount of cash quickly to establish yourself, to get out of your job, to get out of any debt you might be in. And then once that money starts to come in, you can facilitate and build any business you want.
Yep.
But to lean on Jeremy, right? Okay, so Jeremy and I, we've become incredibly good friends. We literally see each other every day. So we joke around a lot, and a lot of podcast listeners may not actually know the premise of that joke. So no, he does not steal money. Here's what I was trying to say. The guy is really, 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 really good at what he does, which is he has a way of getting in your head and just making massive breakthroughs. And I have seen Jeremy train. I'm physically witnessed. This is one of the greatest pleasures of being here at Lurn, is watching this man take someone, I mean, pretty much from like random places of walks of life. People who statistically, people who by, academic studies and things are not meant to be great coaches and consultants.
No.
Are not meant to make 6 figures or 7 figures as coaches or consultants. And I've watched him. I mean, I'm honestly saying I probably am guilty of having said, nah, I don't think they can do it. And I've watched him just turn them around immediately. It's through the work he does, and it's through the calls that he has. It's through the work he does, which is we call them breakthroughs.
Yeah.
And they're super powerful. So that's where I joke, is just that he has a Jedi power. He will get you to change your life if you allow him, right? Because everything starts with the ability of you choosing to do that. Anyways, we could talk about this forever. You will see a piece of that right here in this episode. You're going to see it right now. Jeremy, if you're ready, man, let's go to round number 1.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so round number 1, we're going to talk about the business model in its most generic terms. And then we'll get into often, and we'll talk about the often formula is specifically, right now. But when we talk about generating 7 figures from the coaching consulting business model, we talk about multiple students that are now at Lurn doing it, that are all from various walks of life. I mean, literally, like all different niches, different countries, different languages. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. What is this business model like, and why is it that it's so powerful versus a lot of the other models and a lot of the other funnels, at least to start?
Yeah. One of the biggest reasons is definitely margin, right? Because you're adding so much value, right? So it's at the core of it, you talk about coaching, consulting, at the core of it, it's a professional service. Right? You have a service that you can provide to someone, whether it is you're in the fitness industry and you're helping somebody, lose weight, or you are doing somebody's advertising, or you are really good at being able to help people, come together in their relationship and create this spark again in their relationship. It's being able to provide a service whether it's coaching and kind of supporting them through it, or consulting and actually maybe doing something for them. At the end of the day, it's professional services, which means that pretty much anyone listening to this that is over the age of 18 has the ability to add a professional service and actually
even some under the age of 18.
I know I was gonna say 12, but I don't know if anybody's listening to this that's under. That's
I've seen some kids who could teach me a thing or two about marketing online.
Yeah, well, we've seen 15, 16, 17-year-olds that are making a ton of money, going out there and doing advertising, going out there and doing ads for bigger businesses. So at the end of the day, it's a professional service, which means if you're listening to this, you very likely have the ability to identify something that you know better than someone else, and you'd be able to help them with it and be able to charge a very high ticket for it because you're adding a very high value to their life. And so at the core, the business model is you have a service or a transformational result you get for people, and you go charge what it's worth.
It's so funny. This morning I was listening to someone else's podcast, and they had a guest on, and this woman is a coach or consultant, and she's making 7 figures a year doing this, and she teaches people. I mean, it's such a specific niche. She teaches offshore, I forgot what she called it. She had a better word. People like from Philippines and India and Vietnam and a lot of these countries where they like want to work online.
Yeah.
She teaches these people. She teaches a certain sector of them. They're professionals in these countries who want to become a virtual assistant.
Wow.
That's her niche.
Yep.
Professionals with degrees in these countries who know English, who want to become a virtual assistant to American companies, and she's generating 7 figures a year doing that.
Oh, I'm sure easily.
I met another person yesterday. I actually spoke to this person for like 5 minutes. He generates one of his companies. He generates 7 figures a year, and this was crazy, teaching people how to invest in hotels. And I was like, wow, that is a very specific niche. Yep. So I thought, oh, surely you're charging like $250,000 or some crazy, and you have like 4 clients. And he said, no, actually, I've got 82 clients.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's amazing. So the niche, like, you don't realize, people think, oh, well, I'm not a big internet marketer, so I can't be a coach or consultant. Well, screw that, man. There's there's probably 950 other better markets than to be teaching in. Yep. So the business of selling yourself as a coach or consultant is exactly that. Now, I could tell you right now, because we have so many programs at Lurn, you don't have to do one-on-one. You can actually market programs that are group coaching so that you can scale your time. You can do one-on-one, could be like very high cost. You could do workshops and events. So you could do a high power workshop, 5 days, you get 20, 30, 40 people in there, and you're done.
You can do
right?
masterminds.
You can do masterminds. You can do online programs that are pre-created and that are sold at a higher price, that come with some level of support through webinars and all of that, and all of a sudden it kind of leans towards coaching consulting. But so you don't have to become a consultant, because people think consultant, they think you gotta hit the road, you gotta fly, you gotta go places, you gotta be on the phone 10 hours a day.
Briefcase, suit, flying all over the place, and you're working with people one-on-one all the time.
Yeah, and that's not the case. You can do that if you choose. See, I don't like doing that. Like I'm telling you right now, I could close gigs at $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for a day of doing consulting. I know that if I made that offer available, but I don't enjoy that. It's not my thing. So I don't sell that. It's a personal choice. Now, the reason I'll kind of give my piece of why I love this model and the tactical before we get into often the model. It's the easiest funnel to generate because there's very few pages involved. So this is literally how it works. We give you templated ads that you follow. The ads don't have to be fancy because you're willing to pay $3, $4, $5 a click because the margins are so high, as you mentioned before. It doesn't matter what you pay per click. So you don't have to become a Facebook or Google Ads ninja. Even if you're bare bone basic, even if you hire a decent agency, not the best, they'll run it well enough that you'll make a ton of money.
Well, like you said as well, you don't even need, literally everything that you're sharing with you now, we've seen students who don't even need any of that. We actually just train them on the enrollment side. And like Kit, for example, she's done $50,000, $60,000 in retreat sales just in the last few weeks. No funnel, no advertising or anything. So all of this, you put this together and you've essentially mastered this business model.
I mean, scalable, upnately scalable. So what we teach you how to do and what we do with you is, okay, we'll get one page that literally offers something of value, a free book, or it's an opt-in page. We talk about opt-in pages at Lurn all the time. And on the next page, after they put their email address in, we show you how to make like a short video, which you could do with a cell phone. It's very easy. And that video basically says, book a call with me. That's literally what it says. Like, if you want to know more about how I can be of service to you and how I can personally help you, blah, 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 here is a link right below. It takes them to a calendar program, which takes 5 minutes to set up. Book a call with me. And then the call could be either with you or it could be with a team member who could take it. And you get on the phone and you don't sell. That's the best part. Selling doesn't work. Selling sucks. Selling delivers no value. As a matter of fact, I've met with students who didn't buy, who've told me that one of the most powerful, life-changing moments of their life was their call with Jeremy. So he doesn't sell, because that's not the point. What's the point of selling? Selling leads to regret. Selling leads to buyer's remorse. So you don't sell. You just service. You help. You follow a flow to create change in someone's life. And at the end, they choose to work with you or not. And in that process, guys, here's what happens. If you can book yourself like 5 calls a day, I know it sounds like a lot of work. Just bear with me for a sec. You don't have to do these always. And you know what? If you're just trying to become an entrepreneur, then it's okay if it's a lot of work. You need to do a lot of work. It's fine. Let's say 5 calls a day, right? They're about half an hour?
Yeah, half an hour, 45 minutes.
20, 30-minute calls.
Yeah.
If you do it the way that we share and that Jeremy has made so many people master of, you're going to sell at least one of them.
Yep.
Just not by even selling, but just having a conversation. And that's $5,000, $6,000, $10,000. I think Dominique does $12,000.
$12,000.
Yeah. So imagine how much you can spend.
She created a $100,000 offer recently. Yeah.
Amazing. $100,000 offer.
Yeah.
One call, $100,000. Imagine how much you can spend in advertising when you're selling $5,000 to $10,000, $12,000 programs. And imagine the fact that you sold one $12,000 program in the whole month, you can quit your job. Meaning, if you can do one consistently. It's amazing. One is 10 phone calls in a month.
Yeah.
And 10 phone calls, and you don't have to go 9 to 5 to work every single day. And then it's up to you. If you want to double your income, just have 10 phone calls.
Yep.
And we share with you how to get unlimited. So at Lurn, we have a great team that does this, and we get 60 calls a day that are booked. And we're out there changing lives and making all this happen.
Well,
so okay.
Here's the important thing about that too, is what if you could do that consistently, and the people that you do enroll for 12,000 or 100,000 or whatever, they thank you for it.
Oh, again and again, yeah.
That is the power of this model when done right. And when we talk about enrollment and we dig into that, we'll share with you exactly what that looks like. But that's doing this business model the right way.
Yeah.
Is serving the people you're working with at a level where you enroll them at a high value, but they thank you for it.
Yeah.
And they continue thanking you for it because you're now delivering on that high value.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about things like Masters and some of the deeper mentorships we have here is that we're really attracting the right people, right? With Masters in particular, you don't get in unless you're the right person. You're not here in this room unless you truly are doing business the right way.
You're not sold. You actually have to apply. It's a genuine. A lot of people are waiting and are. We're rejected because we're looking for a certain type of person.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to throw out there. I want to see if this particular listener of ours is listening. I'm going to throw an example. So if you're listening, come talk to me. There's a friend of mine, Greg. He listens all the time. Greg runs a construction company, a remodeling company. He remodels people's homes. And so I throw a challenge to you, Greg. Like, could you see yourself being a coach or a consultant and teaching other companies who do that how to build a successful 7-figure business in remodeling and construction? Like, yeah, I throw this as an example. I'm picking on Greg just because I want to know if he's listening or not. But think about it yourself. Like, if you're running a business doing something, couldn't you teach other people who aspire to run a business like yours? And right then and there, you have a possible, and I'm not saying do it full time. I'm saying, get a couple clients a month. That could add multiple 6-figure income to your life, and you're serving and helping people. So there's a upteenth amount of ways that you should do this. If you're an executive assistant, if you're an administrative assistant, do you know how many other people out there want to be better at that job? Exactly. You could teach other people how to be amazing at that job and how to get promotions. And
it's really anything you do well.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, you probably have at least a handful of things that either family or friends come to you and they ask you about. They ask you for your advice. They ask you for, hey, what do you think of this? And they come to you regularly. These are all things that you can definitely revolve an offer around.
All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to throw the link out a little bit early this time, only because I just, if you are listening so far, and if you're starting to feel like a little hamster moving, then I want you to have the opportunity to talk to Jeremy directly. Now, if in case this goes nuts and there's too many people booking this call, you might talk to Philip. There's another person on our team that's Philip. He's awesome. All right, he's awesome. So you're going to talk.
He's been through masters, so
he's been through
amazing.
masters.
Yes, he's awesome.
He knows this process because he uses it all the time.
He's awesome.
So you might talk to Philip, but go to, here's a URL. Okay, so if you're thinking, Anik, I'm interested in having Lurn, having Jeremy, having the whole team build my entire coaching consulting business, help me find the idea, nurture the idea, put the funnels up, put the pages up, get the ads up, get the leads going, learn how to exactly get those leads to turn into multiple 6 figures of revenue, then I want you to go to learnworkshop.com/CCM. Okay, LURN, Learn Workshop, WORK, shop, SHOP.com, one word, learnworkshop.com/CCM. That stands for Coaching and Consulting Mastery. CCM. And you can book a free call and we'll talk to you about it. It is not a sales call. I want to be very, 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 very clear. Bring your A game because it's actually the opposite.
Quite honestly, we don't have enough spots in the room to try to sell anybody.
No.
We've got to have the right people. And with when we do things like this, let's be honest, you would be in the same room with Anik for 5 days. You'd be in the same room with me for 5 days. We would not be able to tolerate anybody less than people that they can come in and from day one, they're hustling, they're getting things done, and they're getting results. Yeah. So
there's the opportunity is huge. It's not free. It's actually it is an investment involved because we are flying people in. We have team members flying in from as far as India to literally sit with you and build everything for you. So there's a lot of cost that we're incurring to do this. But anyways, that's not what this episode's about. Let's move into the often formula so that people can continue. The biggest thing that you could have at the end of this episode for me would be if you could just think about your business and say, gosh, you know what? I can probably add about $200,000-$300,000 a year of income, if not more, by just adding a little side hustle, like a little teeny side hustle of just teaching what I'm good at. So round number 2, let's, and you know what? Let's just call it round number 1 so it makes it easier. I know I already did round number 1, but it's my show. I can do whatever I want. We're going to go into the 5-step formula. Round number 1. All right. Jeremy, round number 1.
Yes.
O stands for offer.
Yes.
I guess we should tell everyone what they all stand for.
Yeah.
So often, O stands for offer, F stands for funnels, T stands for traffic, E stands for enrollment, and N stands for next level. Yes, we thought of this all on our own. It was a really cool acronym. Actually, I give Jeremy full credit for this. This is all Jeremy. So, and it works. It's perfect. Offer, funnel, traffic, enrollment, next level. So, Jeremy, this round is about offer. Talk to me about, let's do some examples. I think that's the easiest way. Like, how can someone create a great offer?
So a great offer is not the program you probably think of in your mind right now, right? If you're thinking right now, oh man, that's great. I can create a good coaching consulting program. It's going to be so awesome. It's going to be 8 weeks. It's going to be doing this and this and this. Guys, that is not the place to start with a coaching consulting offer. Remember, you're offering a professional service, meaning you are in service to the people you're working with. So your offer must revolve around the needs of your client and reverse engineer it from there. Meaning, again, if you're a weight loss expert, how long does it take to lose a certain amount of weight for your clients? If it takes a year for somebody to lose 100 pounds and you are the 100-pound weight loss guru, then guess what? You probably should be working and revolving your offer around the next 12 months. Right? Doesn't make sense to just help somebody for 3 weeks or 3 months and then say, best of luck, right? We helped you lose 30 pounds, but the rest of the other 70, here's a PDF on how to do that. Good luck, right? You'd want to revolve your offer around the service you're providing. So another good one would be if you are, let's say, helping people invest in hotels, right? Inevitably, I would assume you'd want to see them follow through with that and make sure that they're actually getting results with that strategy you're employing. And again, reverse engineer that. If that probably takes more than just a month, right? It probably takes more than just a 6-month program. You might want to have a 6 week. You might want to have a 6-month or a 12-month process to where not only do they have a system to follow and they have your guidance and you're working with them to make sure they're doing it, but you're actually seeing them follow through and actually doing it and getting the results, right? So the first place to start with an offer is what is the exact need or problem of the client? So that's where you want to start.
So let's do an example. Podcast.
Yes.
Okay. I started this podcast 6 months ago. I have fallen in love with it. And, we've done over 120,000 downloads as of the time we're filming this. And it's growing and it's been great. It's been fun. It's got a lot of connections. It's helped me have a lot of connections. Okay. So I decide, man, this is an amazing opportunity. I want to help other people start their podcast and do their podcast. So what kind of offer? How would I go through the process of creating an offer that is a coaching consulting offer for the podcast?
So being able to help you get it up and running?
Yeah, just to help, I want to target people who want to launch a podcast, and I say, look, I've just done this.
Yep.
I'll show you how I did it.
So the biggest thing is you got to remember you're not just helping somebody get a podcast up and running. If that's what you're offering, then that's maybe, just a course, right? That's like $1,000, $2,000 course. But if you're going to offer a coaching consulting service for $10,000, $5,000, $10,000, let's be honest, if you're helping Anik with his podcast, that directly impacts Lurn, being able to get the message out to millions of entrepreneurs all around the world. That inevitably supports the business. That inevitably supports being able to give back. There's so many other elements there that go beyond just you learning about podcasting. So here's what the key is with a coaching consulting offer, is you've got to really go farther beyond just the information that you're offering. Right? People, let's be honest. I mean, there's Google, there's things like Lurn you can go into and start searching around for the information necessary to build a business. But if you're going to go deeper and get mentorship at a level like this, you've really got to go beyond information into transformational action, right? Transformational action. And if you can inspire that as a coach or consultant and get people results because of it, if we were able to get your podcast up and running, but do it in a way that is directly connected to being able to get to more students, being able to impact more entrepreneurs, and being able to get people into Lurn Nation, is that worth more than $1,000?
Yeah,
it's worth everything. Yeah. That is the dream.
So what you're really talking about though is what I teach in copywriting. There's a big difference between product and offer.
Yes.
Right. A product is, here is my podcast program. In module 1, I teach you how to get your topic and how to get your title, and not in module 2, I teach you how to get it uploaded on iTunes and all the different platforms you need to be on. That's a product, and it's fine, and a lot of people want to buy a product, but an offer turns into something to the effect of how to generate 10 clients a month using a free podcast. Where you focus on the results, or how to get 100,000 downloads a month, how to build a podcast that 100,000 people listen to every month. Yep. And so now all of a sudden you're focusing on the results and your offer, and you start that by thinking about the challenges. I'll tell you my biggest challenge that I never found an answer to actually, and have just had to discover my own ways. It's been 6 months. I've been trying to figure out how you growth hack a podcast. And I put my smartest of team members on it, put myself on it. In the end, the conclusion always is you can't. And that, as an entrepreneur, I'm like, what the heck do you mean you can't? That's impossible. There's no such thing as you can't. And so we've been doing stuff on our own. We have some ideas and stuff. And so I actually have thought about, look, I'd love to help people and actually be the first person in the industry to do something. Because I figure a lot of people who start podcasts are like, well, now what do I do? Like, how do I grow this thing? And there's actually, other than like really cookie cutter vanilla information out there. So think about challenges you've had. When you were growing in your particular area of expertise, what could have someone given you at that time to shortcut the process and then focus on the results, right?
And just remember, when you are creating a coaching consulting offer, your offer is only as valuable as the results you help clients achieve. Yeah. Right? Your offer is only as valuable as the results you help clients achieve.
Yeah. I have just a side funny story. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but we have a cleaning service at our house that comes, and she's the person who runs a company. She's amazing. She's awesome. She's been doing this for us for 9 years or something. And one day, for the first time ever, she came with someone else to help. And I'm like, what is this? Who's this person? And she told me she's teaching her. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, you're hiring her? She's like, no, she's going to start her own thing. I'm just teaching her.
She's finally taking notes from
you.
Right,
I guess. And I wanted to ask, but I couldn't help it. I was like, did you charge her? Because there you go. There's a possible amazing coaching consulting offer. I mean, I see it now, especially. I see it all over the place. Anyone I talk to who's having a problem with financial problem, I'm like, well, what are you good at? It's got to be. I don't care if you're good at rose gardening. Like, you're good at something that is a pain point for other people that they would pay for. And it's amazing. All right, let's move on, man. All right, round number 2. So round number 2. Funnels. Maybe my favorite reason, or maybe my number one reason why I love this model so much. What does a funnel look like? We talk about funnels all the time, right? And funnels scare the crap out of people.
Yes.
Because some of them are scary. I mean, they scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, here's the typical funnel, right? You've got the opt-in, you've got the offer, you've got the upsell, the downsell, the cross-sell, the circle sell, all the other stuff, right?
Circle sell. He's created a new term. What's a circle sell?
It's when you bring people back around and whatever.
Recurring revenue, Joe says.
Exactly.
Circle sell.
It's recurring revenue.
All right, Russell, if you're listening,
we just created a whole new industry standard.
Russell Brunson, this term has been trademarked by Jeremy Bellotti. If I see this at ClickFunnels, circle sell. I like that. All right.
So that's what a typical, when you think of a funnel, right? And then you've got all the email automation and all that other stuff. With coaching consulting, it's actually really simple. It's 1 to 2 pages, pretty much, max, right? The model that we would be talking about in terms of if you were here and we were building it with you, 2 pages. 2 pages, and all of a sudden you now have the ability to speak with clients that you absolutely love and you can get results for, and you have the ability to enroll $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 clients.
And what's so crazy is we'll build them with you for you on ClickFunnels. So go off and do with it what you want. You'll have full control.
Yeah.
You don't need a designer. You don't need a technical person. Here's the thing, right? So when you build a book funnel, all right, I love book funnels. They've made me millions and millions of dollars. Well, okay, you need a book, which is a pain in the butt to write, unless you're in our bestseller workshop, which is a separate topic. But yeah, you need a book. If you don't do it the way that we teach, it is tough. It's tough to write. You need a bump offer. You need an upsell one. You need a downsell one. You need an upsell two. You need a downsell two. These are not optional.
Throw in the circle sell.
I'm getting there. Oh, don't you worry. So these are not optional. You have to have all these because the financials work out in such a way that the amount you're going to pay to get that book sale, you need these upsells and downsells to break even. And then a lot of people would, on their bump offer, I'm totally just trying to shove this term in there, would have a circle sell because it would be a recurring offer.
That's right.
Which it would create its own pain in your life because then you have to create content every month and you have to have a members area and you have to give people logins and all of that. And now notice what I said about a book funnel that is interesting. I said you need all these things so you could maybe break even.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful business. How many of us want to run and build a business where we break even? Yay! No, right? So why do I love book funnels? Why do I go out there and teach it? Because they're amazing lead generators. They generate buyer leads. I love that. But that means in order for me to make profit, I better have a back-end offer. So I'm going to have a webinar with a $1,500 offer or something like that. And that makes me decent money. But you know what eventually makes me really, really, really good money? My coaching consulting offer that's at the very end of the funnel. So all along, I need all these things. I need the tech for it. I need the copy for it. I need the videos for it. I have to optimize each piece. So it's tough. Is it worth it? Heck yes. Should you do it first? Probably not. It's a challenge. Unless you're a bit of a more senior. We're working with Dr. Tim. He's a bit more of a seasoned entrepreneur.
Yep.
These things don't challenge him. He's got the infrastructure, the team, and he said, I want to do a book funnel. I said, all right, let's do it. Okay, so what we decided is, why can't we just cut all that crap out and go right to the end, right? Go to the main piece. If you do a webinar funnel, I love webinar funnels. I do them all the time. Well, great. You need to write the webinar. You need to have an offer. You got to go every webinar. You got to integrate it with all this. You got to do Zapier. You got to get your leads into your email workflow system. You got to have a good webinar. You got to be able to transact it. You got to have a members area to deliver it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of challenges there. Is it worth it? Heck yes. But this is where we start to see huge uptick from our students. What do you need for a coaching consulting funnel?
You need you and a phone, to be honest with you.
You honestly don't even need pages to get your first few sales.
Because here's the thing.
What about Victor? How did he get his first sale?
Yeah, I'm almost positive it was not with a funnel.
I don't think it was with a funnel.
Because here's the thing, especially when we're getting these guys going, and they have no funnel yet, the last thing we want to do is add friction, let alone time, in between them and helping someone.
Well, recently you enrolled someone into one of our programs.
Yes.
Tell this story. No funnel enrollment
so awesome.
right now.
So I want to give a big shout out to Brian and Elisa Delmonico. They're freaking amazing. They're awesome. They're going to be here, a part of Masters. Truly, truly amazing people. And Brian reached out to me actively on Instagram with no prompting whatsoever. He just happened to see an interview that I was doing. And we were talking obviously about Lurn and Lurn Masters and all that stuff. And he reached out to me on Instagram. And here's the thing, it was different. Because his tone was different, but also when I then looked him up on his website and what he was doing, you could see that the guy adds value. The guy really helps people. He's been in the fitness industry for 7+ years. He does some amazing transformational work with yoga and everything. And so I reached back out to him, ended up having a conversation with him and his wife, and within about 45 minutes or so, they ended up enrolling into pretty much every opportunity we have in terms of deeper mentorship. And they're going to be actually at the workshop that we're going to be hosting for coaching consulting.
So we'll be building their
Yes,
coaching.
we'll be building their funnel.
So you didn't build an opt-in page to send him to?
There was nothing. Literally.
No free offer, no book a call page, nothing?
No, it was an Instagram text and
awesome.
a phone call.
So how many of you guys have Facebook followers, LinkedIn followers, Instagram friends? I mean, it is literally your first sale could be, guys, who wants to learn how to do rose gardening? Private message me. Because I see this all the time on Facebook. As a matter of fact, go listen to the episode by Mike Bontempo. Did I say his last name right? Oh, man, finally, after a long time.
Man, that was...
Bontempo. Mike, I did it. Mike listens too, so he heard it. Go listen to his episode. He talks about how he gets a ton. The guy's built a 7-figure agency from freaking making posts on his personal Facebook page. With nothing but results. He just teaches hey guys, if you're doing Facebook ads, look at what I just did, getting good results, do this. And he's laughing and he's like, the joke's on everybody because they run to him and they're like, hey, can you please do this for me? And he says, sure, it's X thousands a month. And they're like, yeah, it's fine.
And the thing is, Mike's very intentional as well with some of his organic posts. They have a real purpose, right? They have a real purpose to them. So if you even get a little bit strategic with this, you're going to have a ton of people reaching out and a lot of opportunity.
But see, check this out. He doesn't have to get on a sales call. Because he's intentional about teaching what he's doing. And he does. He puts it all out there. He doesn't hide anything. Actually, sometimes I'm a little shocked by how much he gives away for free. But then when you reach out to him, why do you need a sales call?
Right.
If Jeremy, if I come to you, for example, Jeremy and I always talk about fitness stuff, right? Because the guy's super fit and I need to get there. So I always come to him and what do I do? And then he gives me some stuff I don't want to do. So, but if I...
And then I invoice him later.
Yeah. but if Jeremy came to me tomorrow, right? I'm working or walking around and Jeremy's like, hey, you, come here. I want to teach you how to lose some weight. I'd be like, dude, go away. I don't want to talk about it. But if I approach you and I'm like, hey, what is one thing I can implement to kind of get better health? And you don't just sell. I just asked you. It's just a different conversation. So that's what we teach here. And it's so powerful. So the key is this. Look, you want to grow to 7 figures, you probably do need a funnel. But the best part is it's a page, opt-in page with a freebie offer. It could be a free video. We have a student, Laura, who has killed it. She's done multiple 6 figures in sales with her offer is a free video, which is ironically the video where she teaches and then ends by saying, you want to learn more? Book a call with me. So that's her opt-in page, is promising a video. And then when you go to the next page, which is the thank you page, it's a video of her. It's the simplest page. A big video of her where she teaches. And she's like, okay, here's 5-6 things or whatever. And she teaches. And then she says, do you want to know more? And do you want to work with me and have me kind of coach you and guide you through this? Click the link right below.
And it's a simple video, guys. This is not
we shot it.
Major production or anything like that.
We helped her build hers out, right? That was when we were at the old office, not even the Lurn Center. So we didn't even have all this fancy equipment.
I think she did just a selfie video. Yeah.
It was my phone right here. Well, not this one, but it was the prior iPhone. And I propped it up on a little tripod stand. We put her in the conference room, which we were renting at that time because we didn't have a conference room. This is the setup we were in. And I just pointed some of the lights, the desktop lights or whatever, and I was like, okay, go. And she made 6 figures from that video.
She did. Yeah, she did.
And so this is entrepreneurship, and I want people to know you can just go. This is why the model works so well, because the person doesn't care. If I want to learn from Jeremy, I don't care that he's perfectly lit. I want to know that he's got the knowledge. And so the funnel, if you will build one, which we will, because we want you to go to 7 figures, is going to be an opt-in page with a little free offer. On the next page, you deliver the free offer, and you say, hey, do you want to talk? You get them on a call. And you can get your first few sales. You could make, 40, 50, 60 grand without ever having a funnel, your first one, just to kind of get going. Let's move on, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's go to round number 3. So round number 3 is traffic. So before I turn it over to you, since I forgot to insert an ad into this podcast, I'll just do an ad right now live. You can go to learnworkshop.com, LURN workshop.com /CCM. All right, CCM, that stands for Coaching and Consulting Mastery. And you can actually get a chance to talk directly to this man right here. Jeremy's offering a free call to see you can explore how you could build this business, and then explore if maybe having us help you do it is the right option for you. And there's the chance that if Jeremy's calendar gets too full, we'll give you one of our other great, awesome, amazing advisors. His name is Philip. So either Jeremy or Philip. Now, this is a very short-term offer. If you're listening to this episode, months after it's been filmed, then it's gone.
Yeah.
But check it out, learnworkshop.com/CCM. All right, so now, Jeremy,
yes.
I know that we can get sales with the organic method, and people can listen to the episode with Mike Bontempo for that. Mm-hmm. But there is an intentional way to really scale faster. Yes. and really get leads and get calendars booked and get to the point where you may even have multiple people that are doing all your calls and you get to do the fun stuff, which is what I get to do. How do you get traffic to this stuff?
Bottom line is, if you are going to build any funnel, whether it's a page or 2 pages, you should be prepared to start driving traffic to that. The whole point of building that is to get as many people as possible there. You already know your offer is amazing. That's the first thing we go through, obviously, getting you clear on a powerful offer that speaks to the value you deliver. And so if you get enough people to speak to, you're going to enroll clients. And so with traffic, I mean, 2 big traffic sources, especially that we love. Anik, you can talk about the level of investment we make every single week or month in these areas. Facebook and YouTube. And I know you are on a YouTube high right now. YouTube is amazing. We are crushing it with YouTube.
I still love you, Facebook. Please don't ban me. I love you. I'll still give you my money. YouTube and Facebook, and here's why, is because, as Anik can explain, he's the best in the world at this, which is being able to really dial in the targeting so that you are actually connecting with the right people, right? One great thing about coaching and consulting as a business model is you want to be speaking with such a narrow audience that are really your target client that you can get results for, that you can help, that you love working with. You're not looking to just hit everyone, right? You're looking to really dial in the right people. So, you could probably speak more certainly to the deeper data behind the Facebook and YouTube, but those 2 traffic sources are that's all you really need. Honestly, you could build $1 billion business. Yes. I'm not exaggerating. I said billion, with just Facebook and YouTube.
Yep.
Like, you don't even need to go to anything else. That's why, across all of my companies, even if we do 30 million, I'm like, gosh, it's such a joke. Yep. Such a joke. So our students are mostly all doing Facebook. And I think the reason for that is because I just started to innovate YouTube. Really, I started to learn. I shouldn't say I innovated. I didn't innovate anything. I'm learning from great people. Well, actually, that's not true. I innovated a couple little things, which I might teach.
We created the circle cell.
Well, that's your innovation. That's your claim to fame. I do think there's a book in that. If you could just figure out what it is, I think you could write a book called Circle Cell.
All right. You'll see that funnel coming out soon. Fall of 2019.
Coming to computers near you. Yeah,
that's right.
So with YouTube, I love it, but I wouldn't call myself a master of it yet. That's why I'm not teaching it just yet. Yeah. We have a course on it, so we show you how to get it going. But when I get ready for mastery level, that'll be next level. But Facebook, it's. I'll say this saying again, even though I don't understand why people say it. It's like taking candy from a baby. Although if you've ever tried taking candy from a baby, it's freaking hard.
What they hold on to with their life.
Well, they scream their head off after you do. You give it right back to them. I've actually tried this just to see if there's any truth to this saying.
You've taken candy?
I've taken candy from kids. I get it right back.
Good Lord. So now we've established that I steal people's wallets and you take kids' candy from babies. I'm sure they're really excited to buy from us.
And I wonder why no one comes to my house for Halloween. There's literally no one ever comes to my house for Halloween. So I'm on the record having said this. I use my nephew. I love him to death. Poor kid. I use him as like a guinea pig. I test stuff on him because he's such an innocent new mind. So you get to learn like a lot about humans. But yeah, I took candy from him when he was 2 and he screamed his head off. He hated it. And he held on to it for dear life after that.
Wow.
So anyways, now I forgot what the heck I was talking about.
Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, yeah, so Facebook, right? So Facebook is really, really, really simple. Now, there's a way to do Facebook that's simple, and then there's a way to do Facebook that's hard.
Yeah.
When you do a book funnel, in my opinion, this is my opinion, okay? Facebook is hard. When you do a funnel where you're going to make 10%, 15%, 20% margin, Facebook is hard. When you do e-com, Facebook is hard. Now, what's great is on e-com, you can get rapid fire results, so you can test quickly, and then when you find an audience in an ad, you can scale up. So it's easier, but it's hard to find that audience because you're working with small margins, so you don't have much room. And so this has been a challenge of mine teaching students how to do Facebook until we found coaching consulting model. And now it's let's do the math. We'll literally do the math, and you'll see just how much you could suck at Facebook and still make it work in this model. So everyone's complaining that Facebook ad costs have gone up. They're absolutely right. They have gone up. It's supply and demand, it's general economics. It's just how it works. Yep. So, when we do bad ads in our team, and they're sometimes bad, right? And guilty as charged, I do bad ads too. They're like, we'll pay $4 a click. A click. $4.50 a click. I'm like, whoa. And that's usually bad, right? And our good ones we'll do about $2 a click, $1.50 a click. Now we're also in a very competitive market. We're going after entrepreneurs, so that's a little challenging. But let's say you're going after a super competitive market and you are really bad at it, and your CTRs and click-through rates and your ad is bad. So you get $5 a click. I mean, that's like you have to intentionally try to stink to get $5 a click. So $5 a click. Okay, now let's say your opt-in page is converting at a third, right? Average data. I'm not doing a rock stellar page. I'm not doing a crappy page. Third. So you paid $15 a lead. Yep. That's just an email. That's not like a phone lead. That's an email. All right. Most businesses would never be able to afford $15 for an email lead. Okay, so I'm going to actually do the math here. $15 for an email lead. Now they're going to watch this page and they're going to get an opportunity to book a call with you. Well, I have seen across the board multiple times, again and again, that if you do the model we teach and you build the email sequence that we write with you, you'll get about 5% of the people to book a call with you, right? Yep. So that means that if I got $15 a lead, let's just say that I spent, I got 100 leads. What is that? That's $1,500 bucks. Okay, already people are thinking, I don't have $1,500 bucks. Calm down. Hold on. It's just the math is amazing. So out of those 100 leads, I just said you will get 5 calls booked, right? Yep. So $1,500 turns into 5 calls that are booked. So what is that cost per?
I mean, we take that every day. I mean,
1,500 divided by 5 is $300 a call. Yep. Actually, Jeremy, I mean, our cost per calls are actually less than half of that. Yep. Right? So $300 a call sounds heavy, but I just told you if you do your calls correctly, 1 out of every 5 calls could lead to a conversion of a $5,000 or more offer. Yeah. Right? So we've given you now basically the worst case scenario in traffic, and then everything after that was average case. So you spent $1,500 to get 5 calls. We anticipate 1 conversion, which would be at $5,000. Your ROI is $3,500 profit. Yep. This is with a stinky ad. Yep.
And really, quite honestly, a lower end offer. $5,000 as a coaching consulting offer is, especially if it's a one-time fee, if it's not like month to month.
Well, Dominique's doing $100,000.
Exactly. Now. So it depends. Again, your offer's value is only as good as the result that you deliver for clients. If you're delivering an amazing result, if you're literally creating transformation in somebody's business, their health, their relationships, you can do a lot more than $5,000, and we can show you how to do that.
So let's do this. Okay, let's say you have a $100,000 offer. Let's go to the other extreme. It might take you 40 calls to get a sale. I mean, that's if you're really.
And that means you're also not maybe potentially downselling somebody into
exactly.
that.
But I'm just saying worst. I love doing the worst case scenarios because then I just make a point. Yeah. So let's just say you're like really bad at closing, so you do 40 calls to get a $100,000 sale. Yeah. You would have spent $300 per call. That's $12,000. You're making $88,000 profit. Now, the problem with that is you don't want to bleed $12,000 before you get a sale. Right. So that's why when we teach it, we say start at the lower and then work your way up with higher price packages. Yep. So that way you always have something to downsell to, so you're never bleeding capital. The point I'm trying to make, guys, is you only need to understand Facebook ads. We will add YouTube and Google to your arsenal, but you can build a multi 7-figure business using Facebook badly. Yep. And that's why I love this model. And I think this is precisely why our students are having raging success. The other thing is, if you are okay doing Facebook badly, which we're never okay with, but I'm just saying as like a fault line, like you're like okay with it, then you can get an average agency, a small agency, to do this for you. They don't even have to be good. And we actually have options that are good. I can tell you the agency I'm a partner of, someone who I've taught and trained, someone who I work with every day, someone who runs my stuff, who could actually run your stuff. But that's only if you're at the workshop. And they could run the whole ad thing for you. You don't have to touch it because you have so much room, so much margin. And then on top of that, if you start to scale, we can actually show you how you can make it so you never have to even really get on the phone even. You can actually build a team that will go ahead and do those calls for you because you have so much margin. You can build all kinds of things into it and build the life you want. So traffic, Facebook, the point I really wanted to make is just how bad you could do it and still make a ton of money, which is awesome.
It's the simplicity of this model. I mean, like you said, the areas that you potentially would, look for help on, making sure that you're getting people to your offer, to your opt-in, and getting people on the phone or on a call, and have a team that can actually be able to service those clients and get them to come work with you. And now you're focused 100% on making sure your clients are getting amazing results.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, we do with all of our funnels, just to give you some metrics, we're getting leads booked for our advisory team at about $80 to $150 per lead, per call. Yeah. 80 to 150. So when I said 300, I really meant it. Like, you are 3 times worse at doing that than us, because we're getting as low as 80. Yeah. A lot of them actually are coming $80, $85. And these are good leads. So someone who comes in and talks to our advisors, even at the 80, like yesterday, one of our lead sources was $88. We generate like 15 leads at $88 a lead. They had to have watched a 25-minute video of me before they could opt to talk to the team. So that's a really good person to talk. They already watch you for 25 minutes. That's amazing. Yep. So there's so many ways we know how to do that. There's one particular type of ad that I'm really trying to pioneer right now that's working so well for us on YouTube. But I've run into a couple of things. I'm actually like calling the higher ups at YouTube. I've got a great rep, and we're working with. They might actually make some fundamental changes in how they do tracking due to something I caught. So it's kind of cool.
Wow.
So
now we've got the innovation there. We've got the circle cell. We've got I mean, this is a very innovative show.
In the words of Grant Cardone, I'm changing Googie.
That's right.
A very small circle of people will know what I'm talking about right now. That's an inside joke.
They are laughing their ass off right now.
Googie. All right. Grant. Too funny, man. All right. Let's move on to round number 4. Yes. All right. Round number 4. Enrollment. And I hope when we edit this, there's like thunder that goes in this part.
You'll have thunder.
Enrollment. Right. Honestly, Jeremy, I can tell you when we first met.
Yep.
I'm gonna give an honest story here. Okay, so when Jeremy and I first met, I love telling this story because Jeremy was going to be the operational head of the Lurn Center.
That would have been a disaster.
I love this guy like a brother, and I'm telling you. Holy moly, the center would have burned down in the first 10 days, max. So he was a smart guy. We met, we talked, I saw him, I was impressed. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Then he comes and we start working together, and about a month later, I'm like, oh man, you're not going to be good at that. Like, you're really going to suck at that. And my favorite part is Jeremy looks at me and he goes, oh yeah, I'm not going to be good at that. What the heck did you take the job for? And why did you move? He moved. I'm like, you packed up all your stuff, you left, you moved here. He's like, I'm good at other stuff. I said, okay, what are you good at? And he's like, well, I'm good at let me help you fund it. Let me help you fund the Lurn Center. I'm like, okay, now you're talking my tune. Like, you want to help me make money? Like, okay, like what does that mean? He's like, let me enroll people. Yeah. And I remember thinking, like, what does that mean? He's like, let me enroll people, man. Let's do a program where we really touch people's lives. We work with them one-on-one. We get them results fast, this and that. And as soon as I was like, whoa, stop. I'm not doing workshops. He's like, but why? I said, I don't, for lack of better reasons, I don't really like people that much. Like, I don't want to be around people. Like, they stress me out when we do workshops. It's too tiring. This is the truth. It's exhausting, and I don't want to work that hard. And I said, yeah, I can't deal with people, and I teach them, and when I'm in their face and I tell them do this and then they don't, and it makes me mad. And he's looking at me and he's like, listen, man, I'll take care of all of that. Like, I've done this for so long, I've done this so well, like, we can change people's lives. Like, are you willing? So he enrolled me because he was all like, don't you want to impact people's lives? Isn't that what you say your goal is? And I'm like, yes. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then we had to enroll a couple other team members, yep. Olga being one. And I said, what do you want me to do? He's like, send an email. I'm like, okay. So I sent an email to our list, and he says, I'll talk to them on the phone. And I'm going to tell you, my first reaction was, have you lost your mind? I was like, you want to talk to people on the phone? It's like 2016, man. We're going to talk to people on the phone. There's no need to do that. He goes, no, man, there's a whole different connection. Like, I want to talk to people. Yeah. I can really change people's lives. I can help them, even the ones that don't buy. Like, it doesn't matter. I was shocked. I'm like, man, this guy wants to talk on the phone. And I remember thinking I'd be petrified. I love selling, but I like to sell in mass communities. I don't like to be on the phone one-on-one. So, because I've always thought of it as selling, right? It's uncomfortable. And I think it was the second call you were on. He comes running in and he's like, bam, our first seat to the workshop has been booked. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, so what did you say? He's like, nothing. I just helped the guy out. I was so baffled. And now I have witnessed, I've watched, I've listened, I've watched you train so many other advisors. And the funniest part is we almost kind of look for people that suck at selling. Yeah. Because if you're too good at selling, then we don't want you. You're not part of our brand, and it's not what we want. Enrollment is your word. You don't even let me use the word selling. You've corrected many times people in the company. Jeremy runs around and says, we don't sell, we enroll.
Well, we've seen it. We've seen really good salespeople actually be terrible at this, because that's inevitably just kind of like the first thing that they do.
You don't want to name a few names?
We've had many of them.
People in the graveyard.
But here's the thing. They make good money. They're good salespeople, and they have been good at sales in the past. But this is completely different. Enrollment and the art behind this is really something. It's something I take very, very seriously. But it is different.
So the first question that I have around the reason I introduced it that way was because this is the part where people usually have a lot of fear, and so they decide not to do it because they don't want to get on the phone. They feel like I'm not good at selling, which means I'll never be able to sell 1 out of 5 people I talk to. And they use the word sell, sell, sell. The first big paradigm shift is we change that word. But can anyone and everyone, like, use Kit as an example. Mm-hmm. Kit is the sweetest person you'll ever meet. I don't think there is a cell in her body that was created to sell. Yeah, no. She just smiles. Yep. She wakes up with a smile and she goes to sleep with a smile. She's sweet, genuine person. And she's done how much now in business?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like $50,000, $60,000 within the course of a few weeks selling her retreat.
So anyone listening right now, as long as they get the lead the way we share, can get on a comfortable call, not a sales call, but a comfortable conversation, and can lead to a conversion using your formula.
100%, because there is a distinction, a huge distinction between a salesperson and an enrolling individual. An enrolling individual lives this stuff, breathes this stuff. It's truly a way how you speak, how you communicate, the way that you talk, the way you walk, everything. Mm-hmm. You're an enrolling individual. You're somebody like Kit, who when she walks into a room, she just lights it up and everybody just turns and like is enrolled. Like really just like it's somebody who is a leader, somebody you want to be led by. A salesperson is someone that relies on technique to be able to sell someone something, right? And, nothing against salespeople, but when they finally start making that shift from just using technique and actually starting to care enough about people where they connect with them, now you become something totally different entirely, right? You're becoming an enrolling individual.
I'll give a prime example of enrollment versus selling. Yesterday, there was a webinar that we did. 130 people got on. It was students of mine who bought a $97 program on copywriting. And it was webinar number 1. It was a training webinar. It was just, and we had about 130 on. A bunch who bought didn't show up. That's just people. People are weird. Anyways, so, but 130 people. So I loved it because they were excited, they were energized, and I love talking about copywriting, as obvious from all my content on YouTube and on this podcast. So I started to teach. And in the very beginning, I told them, like, hey, at the end, stick around if you're interested. I have like a cool thing I'll tell you about and save you some money. This is literally how I said it. I'm like, you'll save some money, and if you're not interested, I'll tell you when you can leave. Like, before I start talking about it, I'll let you know you can go. And I trained for an hour and 45 minutes, just pure content. It was just like teaching great stuff. And I almost forgot, because I was tired after an hour and 40. I almost forgot. And someone actually mentions it in the comment, and I was like, oh yeah, by the way. Okay, guys, by the way, we're done. Training's over. Anyone who wants to go, go. Anyone wants to stay, stay. Shockingly, everyone stays. Yep. Right? Like, I think I lost like 15 people because they specifically commenting. They had already bought the product that I was going to be marketing.
Well, I remember you and I talking about this. You're like, I want to do something completely different on this webinar.
Yeah. So I was just like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So only like 10, 15 people left. Everyone else stayed. And I said, how many of you would love just to level up? Like, this is our training. There is a level up to it. If you really want to accelerate your knowledge in copywriting, I have an option. And I think you can save a bunch of money. Are you interested? So yeah. So this was my pitch. I logged into the members area and I said, here are all the topics we cover. This is how many students have bought it. It's my favorite, my best course. And if you want to buy it today for the next 24 hours, I'll give you a $200 coupon because you're customers. Yep. And I didn't know what to expect. But it was enrollment. It wasn't selling. And it was just that. So lo and behold, I ended up selling 12 at a 10% conversion. Do you know that the webinars I put together, where I put like a whole deck together and I do like upsells, I mean, not upsells, I do like bonus. And I usually get 10, 15% conversion. Yeah. And here so it was we ended up doing like 7,000 in sales or whatever. And I never expected it. It was not even like, it just was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. Yep. And I think that was my first distinction of like, this is what Jeremy means about like selling versus enrolling. Yep. These people are already there because they want to learn about this topic. So why do I have to sell them? I just have to offer them the right thing. Yep. And just give them an option and a choice. Yep.
I mean, you serve them well, they're going to want to continue that journey, because let's be honest, if you serve someone well, they're going to want to continue that journey with you, because especially in the world, that we're in teaching people how to build businesses, let's be honest, there's not a lot of other people out there that have been doing this for 15 plus years, that have been able to generate $250 million, that have the respect of people like Robert Kiyosaki and Les Brown and Damon John writing the foreword to their book. There's not a lot of credibility out there. There's people throwing up YouTube or Facebook ads that don't know what they're doing. And so to have someone that not only has the credibility, but then is willing to serve you along the journey, yeah, you're going to get absolutely people that want to follow you on that.
Okay, so there is a formula to this. I know we're sticking high level to it. Yeah. Next episode, I'm going to make him rip apart his entire formula. And I'm going to make you teach our students what you teach the advisors.
Let's do it.
He's got a secret formula. He teaches all the advisors that work here at Lurn. And I mean, it involves islands, it involves boats, it involves plane. I don't know what all it is.
We will unpack all of it.
There's travel involved in it, like virtual travel through your mind. But it's really cool. So you'll learn that. It's in the next episode. I just got a message. If you saw me texting, I just got a message that apparently a very, very big award company has shown up at the office and needs to speak to me to possibly give Lurn a big award. So
bring him on the podcast.
We're going to start. Yeah, seriously. I don't want to be blindsided by what they're going to ask me. So we're going to start to wrap up and then I'm going to go prep and hopefully win us a big award. So what's so random? Entrepreneurs' lives are so freaking random. Like in the middle of filming and these people walk in. So, all right. Module number 5 or round number 5.
Round number 5.
Round number 5. Next level, N.
Yes.
Did we just need to fill often and we just like
no,
we
this actually is a very critical part
so
of this.
what is it? What's next level?
It's not only the next level, but it's the next steps. Once you enroll someone, you've got to take care of them. You've got to deliver the product. You've got to deliver the service in a way that is going to get them results. And then it's also, what is the next level beyond that? I'm telling you right now, you help somebody lose 100 pounds in the next year, they're not just going to kind of shake your hand, say goodbye, and you'll never see them again. They will like truly be by your side for life if you have a next level for you to continue that journey. Somebody loses 100 pounds. Well, how do you keep the weight off? How do you spend the next 5 years of your life living within that healthy, active lifestyle? You can support them with them doing that. Yeah. You help somebody build a business. What happens once they cross 6 figures? Right? Do you just kick them out and then just say best of luck to 7 figures? Like, no, you continue serving them. What is the next level? Yeah. So the next level it embodies all of that. How to truly deliver your service in a way that gets them results, keeps them moving forward, and what's the next step for you to help them beyond that?
This is very powerful because I think this is an area where even Lurn is right now, where we feel very confidently that we need to really up level. Roland Frazier was on a recent. He was on last week. Yep. You guys would have heard from him last week, but he says it, and he asked me, "Do you have a $25,000 program?" I said, "No." He goes, "Oh, we need to talk." I was like, "I know exactly where you're going. You've brought it up. Jeremy's always after me because right now, since I'm petrified of people, we don't have a higher level program, but we need to, and I crave it now because I'll tell you why. Because people like Dominique, people like Kit, people like Victor, people like Crystal, people like Aaron and Jeff and Zane, these guys, I could do so much more with them. there is so much more I can show them. There's a whole new world out there that they need, and I'm not serving them. I'm not serving them appropriately. Like, there is a better level of service I could offer them. It's not about the money, because I know they'll pay in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Because the results they'll get will be 10x that. So there is truly a next level of this, which is just being able to expand. Now, you could choose not to, right? You could choose not to do it. If you end up doing this as a side hustle, like, again, I joke, but there are people out there who are running a business, who love their business. But what if you could teach 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the side how to run a business like that, make an extra multiple 6-figure income that's mostly net profit in your pocket, and then you're happy with that? That's the worst case that can come out of this.
And you could structure something like that where they're just paying you $2,000 to $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And now you just have a recurring monthly income, and you're working with a few people every year.
Absolutely. One of my business coaches for the longest time, worth hundreds of millions, was kind of retired. I mean, I've had coaching calls with him when he was on his Harley. Like, he was driving.
That's got to be hard.
What's that?
That's got to be hard.
No, you'd be surprised.
I didn't hear anybody.
No, you'd be surprised. There are amazing mic systems for them that are in the helmet. You can barely tell that the person is on. You can just a little. Super impressed.
Wow.
Like, crystal clear call. And so, complete digression from the topic. But yeah, he at one point we used to talk every week, and then he was like, "Hey man, I'm kind of tired of doing that. Can we talk every month?" Sure. And what he did is all his coaching revenue goes to nonprofit.
So you could actually enroll new clients into tens of thousands of dollars from your Harley, serve them, driving them across the country.
Yeah.
I mean,
how many times have you been on the road?
Yeah. Yeah.
We've had advisors and coaches here. I love this story. It's Jenny's. She sent a picture of it. This girl is on a Bluetooth. She's boarding a flight.
Yeah.
And what happens is her husband takes a picture. She's opened her laptop. It's sitting on top of her suitcase, and it's faltering, but she's plugging in the person's information into the system, closes the deal, and closes her laptop, and they're like boarding road 2 or whatever, like seating. She grabs her stuff, dials the next person. Yeah. She's walking into the plane on the phone and enrolls them too. Yeah. On the plane. Literally the flight attendant saying, like, "Ma'am, you need to close your laptop now. Like, we need to take off." And she's like, "I'm just processing $12,000 right now. Like, give me a second." Amazing what you can do with this model. All right, so listen, I want to save a lot for the next episode. We're going to talk about, just the enrollment process. It's going to be really powerful. Thank you for being on, Jeremy. As always, guys, he's awesome. You got to follow him. Jeremy, where can people follow you directly? I mean, obviously through your work at Lurn, but what about just you directly? Yeah, I mean, obviously we talked about the, Brian reaching out to me on Instagram. So Instagram and Facebook, just search Jeremy Bellotti. You'll find me there, and follow me there. And I'm definitely inside of Lurn Nation. So Facebook.com/groups/Lurn Nation. You'll see me in there as well. And ladies, he's on the market. Do we need to continue from last episode? Yep. It's on the market. Send resumes to learnpodcast@gmail.com. They get submitted directly to me. I will review them. I will then vet them, and then you might get a date with Jeremy Bellotti. Learnpodcast.com. Pictures, please. We need to make sure we can show him. I'm just joking, or am I? But he is single, so let's. Gotta be real. Yeah. I mean, maybe not for long. You never know with all these people reaching out. You put scarcity on the offer? I love this, man. This guy, I told you he's good. He just put scarcity. He's like, offer will not be valid in 48 hours. Clock has started. They start a video on the video clock. No, it's been so powerful. Listen, man, thank you very much. Guys, the URL again is learnworkshop.com, LURNworkshop.com/CCM. If you want to talk to Jeremy or Philip, most likely Jeremy, if you're interested, if you're like, hey, how in my life could I add a coaching consulting side hustle income, then reach out and we'll talk to you. And maybe you qualify to be a part of our workshop where we're flying our team in from all parts of the world to be here on site, build with you. You'll leave with your coaching consulting business done and up, which is kind of crazy. There is a cost involved. There's an investment. Please don't ask for it to be free. We can't afford that. It's not fair. All of this stuff. Be ready to invest in yourself. If you want, have that call. learnworkshop.com/CCM. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I will tell you to go to onicpodcast.com for the show notes. Make sure you subscribe at iTunes. Make sure you leave a positive review, 5 stars only. Thank you very much. And I don't think I'm allowed to say that by terms of service of iTunes. So, also, learn.com, LURN.com. Go Get yourself signed up. There's amazing free courses. There's a great free course from Jeremy in there about coaching and consulting.
Yep.
It's called Coaching and Consulting Bootcamp. If you want to grab that, go. It's absolutely free. No credit cards, nothing. LURN.com. Get in there. If you're watching on YouTube, come on. Jeremy's watching the comments. I'm watching the comments. He took time away from his life to be here. Give him some love. Leave a comment below. Click subscribe. Click the thumbs up icon. And, of course, click the bell icon so that every day we upload new videos to YouTube, you will get notifications of that being done. Listen, thank you again, Jeremy. Thank you for listening, everybody. Again, go out there and fight for your dreams. And as I always say, when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, and push it the heck back. I'll see you next week back with Jeremy, and we'll talk about enrollment. See you then.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.